Have you ever stood in the grocery aisle staring blankly at all those colorful bags of beans and lentils? Your doctor says, eat more legumes. Your friend tells you, be careful, some have too much starch. And you're just standing there wondering which ones will help your blood sugar and which ones might silently be making it worse. If you're over 50 and living with type 2 diabetes or trying to avoid it, you've probably had moments like this. That feeling of confusion, the frustration of conflicting advice, the fear that one wrong bite could send your sugar levels spiraling. I get it. I've seen that same look in my dad's eyes, my aunts, my neighbors, that overwhelming, what should I eat now? Question that seems to haunt every meal. But here's the wild part. What if I told you there are 3 incredibly starchy legumes, yes, starchy, that are not only safe for people managing diabetes over 50 but actually help your body balance blood sugar more naturally? Sounds unbelievable, right? Even some doctors were stunned when they saw how these humble beans affected insulin response and glycemic control in my recent studies. One of them is already sitting in your pantry. The other 2 are hidden gems you'll wish you discovered sooner. Today, we're digging into each one. The science, the benefits, the wow, I didn't know that facts, plus exactly how to add them to your daily meals without stress or sacrifice. Because when you understand what goes into your body, everything changes. You feel stronger, you feel clearer, and you start taking your power back, one meal at a time. So, let's unlock this secret together. 1. Black beluga lentils. Black beluga lentils may look small, but the real game changer inside them is their powerful fiber, especially for anyone over 50 looking to support and manage diabetes naturally. Fiber isn't just something doctors mention offhand. It plays a direct, measurable role in how our body processes sugar, and as we age, our system needs more help than ever. In just half a cup of cooked black beluga lentils, you get about 9 grams of fiber, which is nearly 36% of your daily recommended intake. That might not sound exciting, but let me tell you why it matters so much. When we eat foods high in fiber, the digestion process slows down. That means sugars from our meal are absorbed gradually, not dumped into our bloodstream all at once. When that happens, our blood sugar stays more stable, no more wild highs followed by exhausting crashes. But it doesn't stop there. Soluble fiber, the kind found in lentils, forms a kind of gel in your gut. This gel traps sugars and cholesterol, helping flush them out of the body before they can cause trouble. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that people with type 2 diabetes who consumed more than 50 grams of fiber daily, especially from legumes, experienced significantly lower glucose levels and improved lipid profiles. Now that's not just nutrition talk, that's life-changing, data-backed information. 1 cup of these lentils gives you about 18 grams of fiber. That's already over a third of that target. And here's how I make the most of it every week with one tip that changed my mornings for good. I call it the Savory Power Toast. You take 1 slice of sprouted grain toast, something dense and hearty. While it's toasting, warm up half a cup of cooked black beluga lentils in a pan with a tiny drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of garlic powder. Don't overthink it, just heat it through. Then, mash 1/4 of an avocado on your toast. Pile those warm, seasoned lentils on top, and squeeze a bit of lemon or sprinkle smoked paprika if you're feeling fancy. That's it. What you're getting is a perfectly balanced, blood sugar-friendly meal. The fiber from the lentils slows down the carbs from the toast. Healthy fat from the avocado stabilizes insulin response. Together, they keep you full, focused, and in control. No hunger pangs, no post-breakfast crash. I've had mornings where I ate this at 8 a.m. and didn't even think about food until after 1 p.m. It's not magic, it's fiber. And more than anything, it's doable. It tastes like comfort food, not some boring diabetic meal. When you're trying to support and manage diabetes naturally, that feeling of freedom and joy matters. You deserve food that works with your body, not against it. This toast has become my go-to because it helps me feel full and steady, and that stability spills into everything I do that day. My focus, my energy, even my mood. 2. Lentils. Lentils are hands down one of the most powerful sources of plant-based protein I've ever worked with. And I say that not just as a researcher but as a doctor who's watched this simple food change real lives for people trying to support and manage diabetes naturally over 50. I remember sitting in front of a spreadsheet filled with nutrient profiles. I wasn't expecting much. After all, lentils are humble, everyday legumes, right? But then I saw it. In just half a cup of cooked lentils, there are 9 grams of protein. 9 grams. That's almost as much as 2 eggs, and you're getting it without the cholesterol, without the saturated fat, and without sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Now, protein isn't just about building muscle. When it comes to blood sugar, protein is a stabilizer. It slows down digestion, moderates how your body absorbs carbohydrates, and delays the glucose response, meaning your blood sugar rises slower and steadier after meals. This is huge if you're trying to support and manage diabetes naturally, especially because as we age, our muscle mass decreases and insulin sensitivity drops. Eating the right kind of protein becomes more important than ever. But here's where it really clicked for me. I came across a 2017 study in diabetes care that looked at how different types of breakfasts affected people with type 2 diabetes. They found that high-protein breakfasts led to lower blood glucose spikes after meals and improved blood sugar control throughout the day. What's more, plant-based proteins like the kind in lentils came with added benefits: better digestion, less inflammation, and greater satiety. That last one is key. Feeling full and satisfied is not just about avoiding hunger, it's about preventing those snack attacks that hit when your blood sugar drops too fast. When you eat a high-protein breakfast, you set yourself up for a better day. You feel clear, calm, and in control. When I realized all this, I knew I had to test it out in the kitchen. That's how I came up with what I now call my protein-packed lentil breakfast scramble. It's warm, it's hearty, and it's ridiculously simple. I make a batch of cooked lentils at the beginning of the week. Just rinse 1 cup of green or red lentils, boil them in water for about 15 to 20 minutes, then drain and store in the fridge. In the morning, I heat up a skillet, crack 2 eggs, and scramble them just until they start to set. Then, I add half a cup of those cooked lentils right into the pan. I stir gently until everything is heated through, then toss in a handful of baby spinach or diced bell pepper, whatever I have on hand, a pinch of turmeric for its anti-inflammatory benefits, a little black pepper, and sometimes a spoon of salsa if I want a little kick. That's it. No fancy ingredients, no complicated prep. Just food that works. And the results? Game-changing. I've tested my blood sugar before and after this exact breakfast for weeks, and every single time, I've seen a smooth, steady rise, never a spike. I stay full for hours. I don't feel that 10 a.m. fog. I don't reach for snacks. And beyond the numbers, I feel good, strong, clear-headed, energized. That kind of control is what so many of us are searching for when we want to support and manage diabetes naturally, and it's all in one pan. The lentils provide steady, plant-based protein that fuels your muscles, supports your metabolism, and works alongside the eggs and veggies to create a balanced, deeply nourishing meal. Even better, lentils are inexpensive, shelf-stable, and sustainable. You're not only caring for your body, you're doing it in a way that respects your time and your budget. I've had clients in their 60s and 70s who swore they couldn't eat beans for breakfast who now text me photos of their lentil scrambles with the caption, "Best morning yet." So if you're looking for one small change that delivers big impact, start here. Cook your lentils ahead of time, keep them in the fridge, and tomorrow morning before you pour another bowl of cereal that leaves you hungry by 9 a.m., reach for your eggs and lentils instead. You'll be amazed at how good you feel, not just physically but emotionally too. There's power in eating something that loves you back, something that supports your goals, something that proves you can still eat well and feel strong even with diabetes. Stick with me, because next we're heading south to uncover a time-tested, soulful legume that's been hiding a blood sugar secret all along. And yes, it's another easy win to support and manage diabetes naturally over 50. 3. Black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas are one of the most underrated natural tools we can use to support and manage diabetes naturally over 50. When I first came across the nutrient profile of black-eyed peas, I honestly did a double take. Not because they were trendy or exotic, but because they were quietly outperforming so many healthier options that dominate store shelves. One of the biggest surprises, magnesium. 1 cooked cup of black-eyed peas contains nearly 80 milligrams of magnesium, which is about 20% of the recommended daily intake for adults over 50. That might sound like just another mineral, but the role magnesium plays in diabetes is massive. It acts like a traffic cop for blood sugar, helping your cells respond properly to insulin and allowing glucose to move out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it belongs. The issue is most Americans over 50 aren't getting enough. In fact, the National Institutes of Health reports that nearly half of older adults are magnesium deficient, which quietly worsens insulin resistance without them knowing it. So I started comparing black-eyed peas to other common magnesium sources like almonds, brown rice, and even bananas. And the results? Eye-opening. Bananas, for example, only offer 32 milligrams of magnesium per medium fruit, and they come with more sugar and a higher glycemic load. Brown rice gives you about 86 milligrams per cooked cup, but it's often eaten in larger quantities and doesn't offer nearly as much protein or fiber. Even almonds, yes, those trendy snack nuts, give you around 76 milligrams of magnesium per ounce, but they're calorie-dense and easy to overeat. Black-eyed peas, on the other hand, offer magnesium, fiber, and protein together in a compact, balanced package with minimal fat, making them a smart, steady fuel, especially if you're trying to support and manage diabetes naturally in a consistent, sustainable way. Now here's the part one love sharing the most, my go-to tip that helps turn these peas into a simple, satisfying meal. I call it the one-pot blood sugar stew. It's cozy, it's filling, and most importantly, it's smart. I start with 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a heavy bottom pot. I add chopped onion, garlic, and celery, sautéing until soft. Then I stir in 1 cup of rinsed canned black-eyed peas, or cooked from dry if I have time, along with diced tomatoes, chopped kale or collards, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and just enough low-sodium broth to bring it all together. I let it simmer for about 15 minutes, just enough for the flavors to get friendly. Sometimes I'll add a spoonful of apple cider vinegar at the end for a little tang and extra blood sugar support. That's it, but here's what makes this stew more than just a warm meal. The combination of magnesium, protein, and fiber in the black-eyed peas helps blunt the glucose rise from the tomatoes and even balances out the mild natural carbs in the broth and veggies. This isn't just comfort food, it's functional food. I've seen older clients swap this in twice a week for lunch and watch their glucose readings level out over time. They say they feel full but not stuffed, alert but not jittery. And the stew itself, it's cheap, freezer-friendly, and flexible. Swap in whatever greens or spices you like, and it still does its job. I love how this recipe checks so many boxes without ever feeling like a diet food. It's cozy, satisfying, and honestly kind of addictive. But the best part is how it makes people feel more confident, more in control, and more hopeful that real food can still work for them. And that's exactly what we want when we're trying to support and manage diabetes naturally over 50. Not stress, not restriction, just simple meals that help us thrive. How to shop for the right beans. When it comes to managing blood sugar naturally, buying the right kind of beans matters just as much as cooking them right. Here's how I shop smart for black-eyed peas, lentils, and black beluga lentils. First, always read the label. If you're buying canned black-eyed peas, look for low sodium or no salt added. Rinse them well before cooking to reduce sodium even more. For dry peas, check that they're whole, clean, and free of added seasoning packets. Those often contain sugars or preservatives. With lentils, avoid pre-flavored or microwave-ready versions. Stick to bulk dry lentils, green, brown, or red. They're cheaper, last forever, and give you full control over salt and flavor. Black beluga lentils may be in the organic or international aisle. Brands like Timeless or Bob's Red Mill are reliable. Check the packaging date too. Fresher beans cook faster and taste better. For all dry legumes, go for bags that are airtight and free of moisture. Beans that smell musty or are dusty might be old stock. And lastly, stock up during sales. These beans store well in cool, dry places for months, even a year, making them one of the best budget-friendly foods to support and manage diabetes naturally over 50. Smart shopping means fewer blood sugar surprises and more confidence in your kitchen every day. Let's take a breath together. We've just explored 3 humble, starchy beans that most people walk right past in the grocery store: black beluga lentils, everyday lentils, and black-eyed peas. But as you now know, these little powerhouses aren't just cheap pantry items. They're nutrient-dense tools to help you support and manage diabetes naturally. Tools backed by science, real results, and real stories. We didn't talk about gimmicks, fad diets, or one-size-fits-all magic. Just food. Real, affordable food that works with your body, not against it. And here's the best part. These foods don't just support your numbers on a chart. They support your energy, your clarity, your comfort, and your ability to enjoy life again. So here's your invitation. Pick just one of the tips we shared today and try it this week. Just one, then see how you feel. When food starts giving back to you, you'll know you're on the right path, and you'll be walking in with power. Your health is worth it, and so are you.